Hi foodies, how are you today? Let's make some delicious loaded nachos. This is really nice for a games night, party night, or just a regular dinner night. Let's get into it. Now, if you want to, you can season your beef right before you cook it, but I did this overnight. I have left out the salt though. I'm going to be adding the salt last minute so that the beef isn't dried out. So what we're going to do now is brown the beef in the pot. Make sure that you have a medium high heat under there so that it doesn't start to simmer. You want to make sure that it sears in that hot pot. So what you're doing is just breaking it up, moving things around just to make sure that there aren't any traces of pink or red. And then we add some tomato sauce. You could also add just tomato paste if you want to, and then some beef broth. That's going to give it some flavor and make this a little saucy so that it doesn't completely dry out in the oven. So you want to cover this so it can simmer for a little bit and cook completely, but don't overcook it, guys. It's going to be going in the oven. Remember, it's ground beef. It doesn't take forever to cook. Now, when it comes to putting the nachos together, I have a baking tray here with some parchment paper. You have the choice of laying the tortilla chips all over, like all across the paper, or you could do it like I'm doing it. Just do it in the center and do 2 or 3 layers. Now, if you prefer, you could do big spoonfuls of meat, but I prefer to do small spoonfuls because I don't want the chips to get too soggy. All right, I just want to make sure that most or all of the chips have a little bit of beef, so when somebody serves themselves, grabs a chip, then there's always going to be a little topping on there. So then I'll add cheese as well, some cheddar, really great, and then the jack cheese, it has jalapeños in it, so that's going to give it such a nice flavor. And then I'm just going to repeat the process and add more meat and more cheese on top. If you want to add more cheese, go ahead and then put this in the oven. You're going to get this nice and melted and gorgeous. All right, so while that's in the oven, let's talk about toppings. So you want to add some toppings to give more variety in flavor and color and texture. I'm adding some raw vegetables. So if you prefer to add just a salsa or like a pico de gallo, you could do that too. Okay, but I'm perfectly fine with this. If you don't like cilantro, you can use parsley. And here we are, guys. Look at this cheesy goodness. Really, really nice. But you can tell that the chips are not super soggy. They have held up. And that's because we didn't overload it with too much of the meat mixture. All right. So what we need to do now is just sprinkle on our toppings. You can add as much toppings as you want, and as many, as far as variety, you can add as many as you want. So just sprinkle it all over. Now the meat sauce is slightly spicy, and that is why I like to add the romaine lettuce strips on top, because it provides some relief, you know. So you have the little lettuce to give you that freshness to, you know, cool down your palate while you enjoy a little heat from the meat. Now, aside from those fresh ingredients, I'm also going to put some spoonfuls of sour cream all over as well, and some guacamole and some salsa. The sour cream again is good because it provides some relief from the heat, and it's just really nice and creamy and tangy, so it's really good with this. And then of course the salsa is sweet and spicy, and then you have the freshness of the guacamole. You can leave these off, but if you have them, definitely add them. Really delicious. So give this a try, guys. I know you'll enjoy it, and remember to let me know how you did it, what toppings you loved, and what toppings you decided to add along with these. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.